So, hello everyone, we are back again and let's cut right to the chase. So, Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, something absolutely crazy happened with those two. They're doing their media obligations, they have their little stare down, they go nose to forehead, Jon gets in there, and then Cormier shoves him off, Jones tries to punch him, and then this massive explosion of a brawl happens where that skinny little PR guy is getting bashed around, fucking billboard signs are falling on the floor, Jones is trying to punch Daniel Cormier, you've got people all falling back like this. My favourite bit actually was Conor McGregor taking selfies while this is going on, Jon Jones then hulking up, and then Daniel Cormier throwing a shoe. It was like watching Ghetto Time in Edmonton, near where I live. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this has happened. And I actually find that hilarious. I personally found the whole thing hilarious. And then obviously you got Jon putting up videos going, Daniel, you hit like a girl, I took you down, you're an Olympic wrestler, and I took you down in 6 seconds, blah blah blah. And while I find that hilarious, I've noticed that there's a big divide about this, because a lot of people have said that they think that this was bad for the sport, and a lot of people think that this was good for the sport. Now, when I hear the words bad for the sport, for me, bad for the sport means that it's an action or an event that takes place that is so bad it actually sets the sport back and really does severe damage to the sport. Something like, imagine if all the fighters got drug tested and failed. That would be horrible for the sport. Like Chael Sonnen. All of these things, like, you know, that could just almost kill the sport and stop it in its tracks. And I noticed that a lot of fighters had different opinions. I know some people thought it was funny and saw the funny side to all of this. Other people realised that this is going to help hype up a fight and promote a fight, and people were like, yeah, we can see, you know, this really helping, because now an entire audience is going to watch this with the belief, even more so if they didn't already, that these two guys are the two best fighters in the world at their weight class, fighting for the championship, and they really despise each other. And that is really going to shoot the fight up. And given the fact that they've got till September 27th to promote it, that event or incident or accident, whatever you want to call it, has probably benefited that, considering there's been a change around and it's no longer Gustafsson, it's now Cormier. And I can see that side of it, that it actually, in a sense, this unfortunate event could help promote the fight. Unlike with the Diaz-Miller brawl, where they didn't even have the fight in the end, we know we're going to get the fight. However, I have heard the other side of it. People saying that this was terrible, this was bad, it made two professional athletes look like thugs, it was unprofessional, and it just makes that image that people have of the UFC being these drunk, wild, cage animals, you know, uneducated, all of these things. I can see why some people feel like it reinforces that. To me, it doesn't really reinforce it that much. I kind of feel that it was one of those weird incidents, but I'm used to seeing these kind of incidents in MMA and professional fighting, because let's see it like this. You have alpha males in fighting, you have fighters are cocky, fighters don't like giving room to anybody, you're going to have, you know, two guys that apparently don't like each other. You're going to have an incident one way or another, whether it's verbally or it gets a little bit physical. And to be honest, I don't think it's near as bad as some of the things I've seen before, like Bardaharian. Who was that Australian kickboxer where they actually had a punch up at the press conference? Or the other one that I remember, when one guy went running, jumping off of a car. Or Everett tipping a table over onto Jim Rome. I don't think it was as bad as those. I think those things were far worse. I don't see it as bad as that, but a lot of people did not like it. A lot of people felt that this was the worst thing ever. Apparently even the state commission, Nevada State Commission, are now going to get involved and say, look, there's going to be some repercussions about this. You don't do that. And then there's the other part, and now this is the part I can see. There were a lot of fans there, and there were a lot of people around. Let's just hope no one got hurt seriously, which I don't think. But the fact is, there were some people that could have been at risk. Even the skinny PR guy, somebody could have got hurt in that, or fallen back, or taken an awkward landing and broken a bone, or concussed themselves. That actually was the bit that I do think why fans would say that was bad for the sport. I think that element, if that has happened, is bad for the sport. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were encouraged to do that, like not directly told, but implied. You know, you might want to get heat for this one, considering we've only got 6 weeks to promote it, I think. So those are my thoughts. I don't think it was necessarily the worst thing for the sport. I don't necessarily think it was a bad thing for the sport. I do think if someone was hurt in the melee of all of that, then that needs to be addressed. But as for the rest of it, I think that this is going to happen a lot when you have boxing or MMA or kickboxing. You're going to have these things when you've got alpha males and testosterone and, you know, all of these things. Plus, you've got this grudge with the two of them that's going on. I know some people said Jon Jones has won the first round because Cormier was the one that got emotional. I think that Jones intended to kind of provoke him a little bit, but you'll never know what's really going on in his head. I'm just calling it the way I see it. I'm going to stop. I really need to piss right now, actually. I've had like 2.5 litres worth of water. Hello everybody, if you haven't seen me before, hit that subscribe button. I do MMA, pro wrestling, comic books, films, whatever you want to talk about, I will do it. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and now I want to hear from you. Do you actually think that that Cormier, Jon Jones brawl for all with McGregor taking selfies was the worst thing to have happened for the sport? Do you think it hurts the image of the sport? Do you think it tarnishes the image of the sport? Or are you on the other side? Do you think it was not bad for the sport at all? Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. And I am indeed out of here. Later.